Let me check on microphone settings to be sure. Yeah, alright. And we'll check on if I'm muted. Nope. So you guys can hear me. Now let me get the link and then we can get started. I hope you all are doing well. Alright. Copy. Alright. It would typically be back. I'd typically be back on my regular 2 streams a day today, but I've got things to expect today. Namely, I'm getting some new equipment today, and I'm hoping that will help with my interruptions I've been having. So copy. Alright. Now let's share this out. And this stuff should be quick. But yeah, with what I'm expecting that it should allow me to use things that I use for my Switch dreams, as well as allow me to get back on Twitch without losing you guys. Like, I do like it here on YouTube, it's just something to help me expand out. That's why I'm trying to think of getting back to Twitch, and plus with how YouTube is, I don't have to worry about VODs. But I did get my start on Twitch, and it was good, but it's not friendly to console streamers like me. Anyway, got everything squared away with the sharing, so now it's time to check on this. Alright. Looks like I'm still live, so now it's time to get going. Alright. Okay, so we've got some stuff over there, huh?
Hey, Catra. Mind lending me a hand sometime today?
Sure, I'll drop by again later.
Okay, so... Alright. They included something like this, huh? See, that wasn't fair. You cheated. You didn't outdrive me at all. Hey, hey, a win's a win. You're such a sore loser. You always win against me. I deserve to win too. Easy, I'm sorry for butting in like that. Maybe next time we can give Milia a little boost to balance it out, okay? But that wouldn't be fair either. I just want to beat him fair and square, okay? Hey, don't take it out on him for helping. Why can't you just suck it up? This is just great. Didn't expect to find one of Elaine's co-workers in an argument with some kids. He looks like he could use a hand too. Hey, fancy running into you here. What happened to the hot shit bracer I bumped into earlier? Can't break him up an argument between a couple kids. You, goddess of all the people, if you want to laugh at me, you can do that later. I'm on official business, so get lost. No, not at all. I apologize for interrupting you. It's just that you look like you are in need of help. So what are you two arguing about? We heard a bit of the conversation, but could you fill us in? We race each other with RC cars a lot. But Milia's way too good a racer, so she usually wins. She really whooped me today, so I was down in the dumps. But then this really cool bracer came over and offered to help. Well, aren't you a model bracer, huh? The kids love you. I headed back to the guild after I ran into you guys, but then I came across these two after I started my rounds. The boys' car is a Leno land carrier just like the one we use at the guild. I can't deny it got me a little curious. One thing led to another and I kinda lent him a hand. Didn't know they made RC versions of those. I dig it. Even the little tykes can will these around. Wait, hold on a second. Is that a night breaker? Oh, now you mention it, yeah, it looks like, it looks exactly like your car, just a different color. They make radio-controlled versions of those too? Yep, they do. I'm a big fan of this model. Hey, you know what's up? When it comes to power, you can't beat an Ingert. Oh yeah, totally agree with you. What am I watching? So yeah, today was just different. I followed the advice the bracer gave me and I won't, and I won. I actually won. I beat her for the first time in forever. But Milia's being a real sore loser about it. I beat her fair and square. You didn't beat me fair and square. You had a coach. I've always beaten you all by myself. But now I'm supposed to accept I lost because you got an adult to help you? How is that fair? Oh, come on. It sucks losing all the time. Just let me have this. Beat me by yourself first. If you're happy to cheat, then go race in the Cheaters Club. You can win all you want there. Hey, you want to say that again? Look, I'm sorry, I realize in retrospect I shouldn't have gotten involved. So, yeah, this is how it's been for the last minute or so. Yeah, that's a bit of a conundrum, isn't it? I got an idea, actually. How do you feel about pairing up with me? Let's see. How do you feel about pairing up with me, young lady? Elvis takes the boy, and then we've got a perfectly fair 2-on-2 rematch. Ooh, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, that works for me. With an adult on my side too, it'll actually be fair. Excellent idea, Mr. Arkwright. This should help them race each other more fairly. Okay, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Guess a broken clock's right twice a day. I see right through you, though. You don't just do things out the kindness of your heart. You've got an ulterior motive, don't you? No, my intentions are as crystal clear as that pickup's paint job. I just don't like seeing my favorite truck lose a rigged race. That's all there is to it, man. Justice. You know, that toes a fine line between genuine swagger and just idiocy. Yeah, he does that. Well, that works for me. I guess if I or to squint, I can see your point. Hold on. Alright. There we go. Just a little quick thing is all. So how do you feel about it? Does that sound good? Let me check if I missed something. Oh, no I didn't. Sign me up. I want to show him who's boss. It'll be me and him versus you two. The two of you. Me too, last time wasn't just a fluke. Watch. Alright, we've got ourselves a match. I won't lose this time. Prove it. That's a relief. The kids are calmed down now that we've figured out a resolution to all this. But now I'm indebted to a Spriggan of all people. Arrgh. Don't let this go to your head, you hear? This doesn't even register on my balance sheet. Just don't hold back, you hear? I'm not going easy on you. This is about more than just you and me or those two kids. It's Leno versus Ingert. And us Ingert fans, we don't take a loss lying down. Yeesh, you're way more into this than I am. But hey, you've got a point. This is a chance to settle our differences for good and all. So, you know what? Oh, so you know what? Bring it. Wow, everyone's really pumped for this. Van can't help himself when it comes to cars, as we're all aware. It would be nice if this helped him get along better with Elvis, too. We should start by finding a suitable race course. What did you use for your match earlier? It was right here. Just a really straight and narrow sprint. I do think we should go somewhere else. We need a proper circuit for this. Yeah, something nice and open. I want that too, but I don't know where. There aren't many open spaces where we won't be getting anyone's way. I might have an idea, actually. I know a venue that might be willing to host us. I'm not 100% sure, but it's worth asking. Follow me, everyone. I'll see if I can get permission. Alright. I don't get how this can be law, but alright. Sure, I'm in. Great. To Newtown, then. That's where this venue is.
Time to start working.
Alright, I think I gotcha. So you want a venue for your RC race? Yes, the pavilion has hosted RC races in the past, if memory serves. Would you be willing to lend us an event space for a race of our own? Ah, now it's making sense. Well, how could I refuse a quest from you, Quattro? Quarter, I'll talk to the administrator and see what I can do. Our schedule's pretty busy right now, so they shouldn't have a problem with it. Oh, pretty quiet right now, so they shouldn't have a problem with it. Let's make this the best race you've ever seen. Yay, thank goodness. Now I really can't wait. Didn't think you had inroads with the pavilion. Nice job calling in those IOUs, Quattro. Or Quarter. They do come in handy. I should specify, though, that this is more for me. The pavilion works closely with the Institute and the workshop, so we're all acquainted. Out of curiosity, what kind of RC cars are you bringing? I'll be using Leno Land Carrier. And I've got Ingert Nightbreaker, an Ingert Nightbreaker pickup. Oh wow. Leno and Ingert, seriously? What? Is that a problem? What's with the alarm? You know those makes, right? I'm a Leno employee who has loved this company for 20 years. I'm an Ingert employee and a fanatic in my own right. And Petra and I get a little spirited when we debate over the two. We'll have a drink and some snacks and just go to town. If this is a battle between Leno and Ingert, then we have to treat this seriously. My gosh. You bet this is company pride we're talking about. Oh yeah, this race has big implications way beyond just RC stuff. It's two bare rivals going at it. And for these youngins that can make or break their brand allegiances, it's serious. It's serious stuff. That sounds a bit extreme. I don't really think it's quite that important. Yeah, they've lost me. Oh, I have an idea. We have some aftermarket parts over in the warehouse. I'll let you two have a sneak peek on me. Don't tell anybody, okay? Oh, would you mind giving us some time to work out? Going to the track, we want to make sure it's perfect as can be. Sure. By all means. Yeah, thanks a lot. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. A few minutes later. I'll go over the rules one more time, just to be safe. Team Dick and Team Milia will compete in a 2-on-2 relay format. After 2 laps, the first racer will enter the controls to the second. They will compete 2 more laps for 4 total. The finish line will be right here at the start, understood? So Dick and Milia will lead off their respective teams. Yeah, then Van and Alvis will compete against each other in the second leg. I'm getting really excited. Who's gonna win? Racers, on your mark. Let's see, is it marks? Yeah, on your marks, get set, go. Man, they're really fired up. You said it, I'm glad they're having fun. Wait, why am I being all buddy-buddy with you? We're not allies anymore, we're enemies. Sure. With that, the race was off to a thrilling start. Milia climbed out into an early lead with her Nightbreaker, but after negotiating the turns, Dick's land carrier began to catch up down the long straight. He had swapped out its stock motor for an aftermarket sport engine, boasting much stronger acceleration. The track favored straight line speed with its series of straightaways, allowing Dick to pull ahead of Amelia after the first lap. Not to count Millie out, she closed the gap in corners with her skillful driving. She had cut the deficit, but she still lagged behind Dick's souped-up machine as their leg of the race came to a close. I'm leading Elvis, I did it! Sure did. Leave the rest to me, buddy. Dang it, you win this round, Dick. Go get him, Van. You got it. Give me a nice momentum to work with. With the third lap underway, Van and Elvis has tested their mettle. I should have expected as much from a Leno employee's special customization. They really understand this thing's unique qualities. Same here. But neither side has a clear advantage. There's no ace in the hole. Okay, obstacles, huh? What the? Sorry to interrupt. Both of these cars are designed to go off-road, so what's the point in keeping them on the road? Paved roads are hardly their natural habitat, so we decided to spice the track a bit. Spice up the track a bit. This puts every facet of your cars to the test. Oh, that's rad. You guys know how to put on a race. Whoa, that's so cool. Man, I wish I could have raced on this. I wonder how I'd have done. Okay, built up a little lead here. Gotta protect to that, no mistakes. How do I want to go about this? The cardboard earns a big old roadblock, but I'm already behind. What's the play here? Well, this one says drive slowly around it, and that's logical. Or floor it. Floor it sounds like a mistake, so I'm gonna do slowly. I can't risk a flip here. You drive like my mom, you won't close the gap like that. Got the off-road bit coming up next. This is gonna be good. The LCs chew these roads for breakfast. I can't push my grip on the surface, but I can't afford to give up any ground either. Do I hold steady or do I punch it? Step on it. He pulls away here and I'm done. Gosh, shoot. You sweating there, Spriggan, on the ropes? Last big curve coming up, and the inside line is less distance, but he's gonna want it too. So what is it? Alright. I want to say right the outside. Weird, but I think we should try to compete. I'll take the inside line, thank you. Oh no, you don't. That corner's mine. He's got the bottom covered up. In that case, wait, what? How? Get that? Is that even allowed? This is sick. I wonder if I can get one of these for my truck. Don't you whine to me about the rules. Anything goes, right? I've never seen a part like that. Wow, he's really proud of that. He was off chatting with Chamberlain about something earlier. I suppose that's what it was. You were sitting on that one for a while, huh? But how? I swapped the motor and everything. I win. Okay. All four of you put on a shot over there. But in the end, only one team can be the winner. On with the results. Leno and Zinger, the winner of this hot relay RC races. The Leno team led by Captain Dick. But we did it. We actually beat her. Thank you so much, Elvis. You're an amazing driver. Hey, it wasn't all me, buddy. You did pretty good yourself. Phew. Well, I gave her my best shot. I had plenty of fun, though. Me too. I've never been that pumped for a race before, and I learned a lot from how you drive. But I want to race you again, Dick, one-on-one. What's that? You want to lose again? Well, sure. Well, that was quite the show. I wasn't expecting to end up so invested. Yeah, but I think we've hogged the pavilion in long enough with that. Let's bounce. Yeah, I should go. I should get back to my rounds. Okay, let's head back to the artisanal district and race there. Yeah, good idea. Well, I'm glad they've mended things. It's like that big fight from before never happened. Haha, that ballooned a bit, didn't it? But hey, all's well that ends well. I really owe you guys for that. That's our line. How can we say no to a race between two of the auto industry's biggest rivals? Orbital cars aren't just machines. They're the future. They're something that kids and adults both can appreciate. That race was exactly what the Motor Pavilion is all about, spreading the joys of motoring to all. Come on back sometime, will ya? The Grand Prix may have ended, but Dick and Emilio still hungered for racing. Van and company saw them back to the artisanal district, and then made for the
That's
Institute.
one job behind us.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
Alright. Alright. Okay, so let's save. Okay. Nothing. So let me check on this. Okay.
By the city of Basel.
Let's see. Got all of them here. Okay, so it's over here.
This is the Aero
Where would you like to
operated
go?
by the city of Basel. When boarding the Aerotram, please have your authentication card ready and follow.
Okay, so I can't go anywhere. Alright.
This tram is bound for Newtown. This tram is bound for the Basel
Institute of Science then.
Whoa! We're so high up!
This is kinda nice.
It's the kind of thing you'd only find here. Professor Hamilton designed this, right?
Oh, I'm impressed you knew.
Is something wrong?
Not at all. It's just that while I've heard about everything here, seeing the whole world with your own eyes for the first time is without doubt an unparalleled experience.
Hmm? I know what you mean. I feel the same way after diving into the world of a good book for the first time.
Okay. Alright. Here we are, the Basel Institute of Science, the place where much of the Republic's most cutting-edge research gets done. It's situated in such a beautiful location, too. The views of the canyon from here are just stunning. Yeah, this area is supposed to be popular with tourists for exactly that reason. Even though even they need a card right now. This isn't that bad of a spot to sightsee, I guess, but there's no real place to live it up in town. Oh, speaking of tourism, what's that rounded building over there? I've been wondering this whole time. It's an observatory, Fairy. That's the Astronomy Observatory. That's a place where you look at the stars, right? That's right. There's a very powerful telescope there that lets you see far more of them than you could with the naked eye. There are many who believe that astronomy is the discipline from which all others draw their roots, even if others disagree. It actually originated in the Central East, if you didn't know. Whoa, really? Pretty sure they were big on stargazing in that fallen empire to the east back in the day, too. Hold on, guys. I want to check on stream. Okay, good. I'm still alive. Pretty sure they were big on stargazing in that fallen empire to the east back in the day, too. Hehe. This is turning out to be very educational. Huh? Ahem. So, where would you like to start? I'd be happy to show you around if you want. Nah, it's fine. We're just gonna wander around for a while and see what we find. If you can tell us where the main facilities and research lab are, that'd be plenty. Well, if you're sure, they're marked on the building's map already, but here you go. Well then, I've got work of my own to take care of, so I'll get going for now. If anything comes up, you're always welcome to contact me on my Zifa. Thanks. I was hoping we could stay with him longer. He knows so many cool things. I feel the same way, but it would be difficult. Yeah, he's just gonna get in the way when we start poking our noses around in dark places. I doubt we're gonna get any new 4SPGs here, but here's hoping we can learn more about this abusive professor wherever they are. Let's get back to work. Remember to act casual and not make it obvious what we're here for. Understood. Okay. So, save. Alright. Okay, so... Okay, so nothing is up that way, which means we have to go this way. Okay, so... Looks like everything's inside.
This campus is just as big as I expected.
Let's take a look around. Gotta check out all the spots that kid mentioned.
Okay, nothing there. I'm a civil engineering major studying under Professor Tane. My family's over in the capital. It's a bit of a trip, but visiting them is a great excuse to do some field study. I haven't been back here in a while. It's a lot intenser than I remember it being. Something just doesn't feel right. She's a student here, huh? We should try talking to her.
Can we talk?
A professor abusing their authority, you say? That's a bit of a stretch to me, not gonna lie. I can say for certain that Professor Cronkite and Professor Tane would never do that. It can't be them. Oh, what makes you so sure of that? Well, so Professor Cronkite's a man of few words, so he can come across as kind of scary. But he means well, really. I mean, he's one of the greatest minds of our time. He lives and breathes science. And then Professor Tane is just really friendly to everybody. He's always looking out for people. He's known the world over for his work in civil engineering and urban planning. The Basel Institute of Science certainly earns its reputation. Its faculty are all accomplished scientists and engineers in their own right. Yep, lots of famous people come to study and lecture here. Professor Callahan's a real celebrity too. He's a real whiz when it comes to mechanical engineering. He's the brain behind the military's new weapons. Last I heard, his new big proposal got shot down in favor of someone else's. He didn't really take that very well, but he's bounced back from what I can tell. He's really putting his all into his new project. I'm really humbled to get to work with so many hardworking and talented people. Hardworking and talented people. People can be assholes. Are they good people is what we're asking. Could you maybe have phrased that a little less aggressively? Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. You're a big help. Alright. Alright, so there's one more on this floor. I don't like having to talk to these guys, but oh well. I work as an assistant in Professor Archet's lab over there. I've noticed some troubling things coming out of the other labs, though. This one woman, she's looked absolutely drained every day. I wish there was something I could do to help her, but I really shouldn't go butting into other labs' business. I just hope she has someone she can talk to, be it a coworker, a professor, or someone else. That's a bit fishy there. Might have to ask him about that. Alright.
Let me ask you something.
Workplace harassment, goodness. I've heard these bits and pieces, but I'm a bit nervous to talk about it. We won't tell anyone, don't worry, anything helps. I've heard Loud shouting from one of the other labs, yes. It stunned me out of the work I was doing. I heard stuff like, "You idiots! Can't you do anything right? You're a disgrace to the Institute. Get out." He's just lashing out at everything and everyone. It's really disturbing. Which professor was the one doing that? I just can't say it. Sorry. If they find out with me, I'd have hell to pay. It's really gnawing at me. The abuse is only getting worse and worse from what I'm told. I've heard the irks, fatigue, depression, exhaustion, even a couple researchers fainting on the job. That whole department looks visibly shaken these days. The stress is just too much for them. I worry they'll all end up like Cindy. Cindy, what happened to her? She's at a breaking point from what I hear. I hardly see her at the Institute anymore. We've all been trying to support her however we can, but it's rough. It really is. Damn. Yeah, that's not good. Who's the professor helping her out of curiosity? That would be Professor Esmeralda. She's in the bioengineering department. She's known the world over for her cutting-edge research. A real upstanding woman. And she's always up to her neck in her own work, though. She probably doesn't know the extent of the abuse at the other labs. Yeah, thanks for filling us in. This still helps us a lot. Okay. So... an upper floor. So let's go here. Okay, there we go. There we are. If you need anything from me, I'll just be reading here. We do have plenty of papers here, though I don't know enough about them to make any recommendations. Do handle them with care, though. They're very important papers. Sounds like plenty of students and faculty come his way. That tracks. Maybe he's overheard a word or two about the allegations.
Let me ask you something.
A power-tripping professor, you say? Well, if it were anybody, I'd put my money on Cronkite. He's awfully quick to dismiss people, haughty in a word. Kind and helpful aren't exactly synonymous with him, at least from what I've seen and heard. I see. Have you heard anything about any of the other professors that might relate to these allegations? Let me think now. Well, I can't see Professor Aurelia doing anything like that. She's just a bundle of sunshine, not a mean bone in her body. Sometimes I even see her in here picking up research materials for her students. Then there's Professor Callahan. He always made a point of helping out his assistants. He's certainly not a bad person in my view, but he's gotten a bit of a bad rep after his work went south. It's probably him. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. We greatly appreciate it. Alright, I think we've combed this area over pretty well now. Let's go sit down somewhere and try piecing things together. I recommend the open space at the front of the Institute ground. And so I saw some benches there that we could use. Sounds like a plan to me. Okay. Alright, so I can't go anywhere. Okay, so there are benches there, but I thought I saw...
This feels relaxing.
Not here. Thought I saw a bulletin board out here. Let's go up here. There we go. Okay. No good info, alright. Well, at least I found it, so... Let's go ahead and take care of this. Guess we can't go anywhere else anyway. Alright, we're about ready to sit down and get cracking. Sit down. Well, that was pretty good. We got our hands on some nice info there. We learned a lot of professors' names too. There's Professor Callahan, the Engineering Science Authority, Professor Aurelia in the Chemistry Department, Professor Cronkite, a well-respected expert in physics and orbital engineering, and Professor Tane, an architectural researcher. And then one Professor Esmeray over in bio. They all sounded really capable, but of course the stat sheets don't tell the whole story. They all sounded like oddballs in their own right. I think we can pretty safely narrow the perk down to one of those 5. I agree. We have plenty of, we have pretty strong evidence to suggest that. Alright, let's take our evidence from the top then. All the people we talked to, all the testimonies, they all had this one thing in common. I see what you mean. Let's see. Well, I don't think they named them at all. There was nothing about threatening. They never heard of it, but they didn't do it, so this one makes most sense. Not a single one named the culprit. Some of these guys knew who it was, but it kept sounding like they were too scared to name him. Would have made our job a hell of a lot easier if they just named the guy, but nope. Yeah, now that you mention it, that is kind of weird. I can understand not wanting to be labeled a snitch, but it felt like there was more to it than that. They were afraid of the culprit, but you could tell they respected them too. They didn't want to sully this professor's good name. And some people said the guy wasn't always like that, something changed them. Probably the conflict over that proposal we heard about, something about hard feelings. That one guy said they had to crunch after the proposal fell through, telltale sign of abuse to me. That does seem likely, though we can't say for certain what changed the professor's behavior. That would be a reasonable explanation. That said, no circumstances justifies such an abuse of power and status. This professor is totally incorrigible. So that's who you think the culprit is? Yeah. You ask me, there's only one professor who fits the bill. Well, they're respected, but there was nothing wrong with him. Nothing there, nothing there. But yeah, he's not noted as being nice, but he's respected. This one's the only one that was nice and then changed. Professor Callahan's our guy. He's one of the foremost authorities on engineering and science, perhaps the smartest man in the whole field. I've seen him in the papers plenty of times before. He's always described as a savant. Notably, he helped modernize the military's weapons and equipment. But he's got revenge on the mind. Sounds like some other professor one-upped him, and that's got him pissed. I get it sucks, but you'd think a world-renowned scientist would be less childish about it. You know a thing or two about being... you know a thing or two about acting like a child, wouldn't you? I don't know, you usually call me a grandpa, which is it, bud? Is now the time? So what do we do now? We have all the recordings of the people we talked to. That all points to Professor Callahan being the suspect. So what's our next move? Do we hunt down our client next and give them the tapes? Nah, I'm thinking we get Professor Callahan's opinion on it without accusing him directly. We nudge him in the right direction and he might just turn himself in. What do you mean? Simple. We tell him about these abuse rumors going around. We talk about all these exhausted students and he connects the dots on his own. Failing that, well, we already know it's him. He's bound to figure out his reputation's on the line. The more he hears about this, if he's smart, he'll fess up. So that's what we do. We give him a subtle nudge, and he does all the work. Elsa, I'm wanted. Does all the work. Elsa, I'm wanted for us. Two birds with one stone right there. It sounds really scheming. I'm not so sure we're the good guys all of a sudden. Well, haha. It is quintessentially Spriggan-like. No, it is a quintessentially Spriggan-like way of solving our problem. Fine by me. To the Power Trippers lab, then. Actually, where is it? I don't remember seeing it while we were taking our tour. I suspect it's the Special Research Building. We'd need some form of clearance to enter, of course. We passed by a door with a guard in front earlier. They won't let any ordinary civilian inside. I suspect we would need an A-rank card at the very least. It's hard enough for us to get a C-rank card. I think hitting an A-rank one is off the table. But what should we do? Then maybe wait for him to leave the building and ambush him? Nah, old Van's the man with a plan. All that matters is that we get inside the building, doesn't matter how we do it. And being a Spriggan, I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Van, you're kind of scaring me with that smile there. We defer to you. What's your strategy, Master Spriggan? So first, we just roll on up to the building like anybody else would. Once we get in there, we convince the guard to let us in. Just act naturally and we're golden. Alright. So that's that one. Okay. Alright, so we can't do anything. Okay, so it's that place we were at before. Alright. Excuse me, is this where we can find Professor Callahan? We're here to speak with him. Right, yes, may I see your card, sir? Of course. then handed over his certification card. C rank. I'm sorry, but I can't let you in without the proper security clearance. If you don't mind me asking, what business do you have with him to begin with? Glad you asked. We're here on behalf of the Principality of Elsa. We figured there was an appointment for us, but we just now found out they didn't set anything up. Sorry for the inconvenience. We wanted to inquire about Professor Callahan's new research. It's caught our investors' interest. His findings have seismic implications. Even the Zepho revolution would be small potatoes compared to this. So we looked into meeting with him and collaborating on his research, only to learn that Marduk was interested in the same thing, so now we've got ourselves a three-way partnership here. I'm here on the Marduk company's behalf. I'm a concierge in their employ. So you're meeting with him to discuss a grant, is that right? I'm a bit surprised to hear both Elsa and Marduk are collaborating on this, but well, stranger things have happened, I guess. I apologize for the inconvenience. That said, hold on. Alright. That said, who are these children with you? Surely they're not employees. Pardon? I'm not a kid, I'm just short. With their associates of the same VIP, pardon them. Hold on, I want to check on the stream. Alright. I'm still alive, that's good. They're associates of Professor Elsheim, VIP, pardon them. They're here on Elsheim's behalf as well, so they were looking to sitting in on our meeting. This is a little awkward though. We came all the way from Elsheim just to get turned away at the door on a technicality. I'm not sure what to tell them when we get back home. I really am sorry, there's clearly been some kind of a mix-up here. Your arrangement might have been lost in the shuffle with all the Armis students visiting. You must have been issued the same rank card as them by mistake. I'll go clear this up with Professor Callahan. 1 minute, please. Of course, we'll be waiting. You sure you're okay with him calling your bluff? Of course. Who's he to turn down grant money? That ain't what we're really here for, but he just has to take the bait. Thank you for your patience. The professor would like to meet with you at once. Go right in. Thank you very much. I can't believe you managed to deceive your way past someone again. Hey, nothing I said was a lie. Not my fault if someone else takes what I said the wrong way. Bet you tell yourself that every single time, huh? Yeah, you must be real pro at this. I mean, it's not something to be proud of. Haha. As your sudden embarrassment suggests. So I wish you would at least stop to think about the bad influence you might have on Fairy.
So you're trying to blame all of this on me, are you?
Not at all. I'm in no way trying to suggest your latest research is the cause. If anything, the approach you're taking with your latest project rather fascinates me.
Does it now?
That being said, work on my own project has reached a critical juncture. I cannot afford any issues with net traffic at this time.
That certainly sounds like blame to me, Cronkite. You may be one of Professor Hamilton's students, but that doesn't give you the right to...
So sorry for the delay. Oh. Who the devil are you? This is a restricted area, you know. Not to worry, we have permission to be here. Could either of you direct us to Professor David Callahan's office? Ah, so you're the ones I just heard about. We're finished here, Cronkite. Now if you would all follow me. Being, Professor Cronkite and Callahan. Funny. Funny running into you guys here. Oops. We should say the same thing. Mr. Arkwright, do you have business here? Quarter. What are you doing here, Salcian? And who are these people with you? They are students here on an educational visitation from the capital. I've been assisting them during their stay. Professor Cronkite was gracious enough to extend us an invitation to visit him when we happened to see each other in town. So he asked Mr. Salson if he could lead the way. Sigh, I do not believe I invited anyone but you, nor did I imply we should meet quite this soon. But I suppose chasing you away here would be more work than just humoring you. Very well, follow me. Really? It would be nothing short of incredible to see your work up close, Professor Cronkite. Well, we'll get out of your hair now. We apologize for the interruption. I can see that you're very busy, but it would be a pleasure to speak more on another occasion, Professor Callahan. Oh, I suppose that can be arranged. It's like she knows what's going on. Must be nice to have enough free time to spend on such frivolous nonsense as educational visitations. Well, come with me. I want to make this brief. Of course, Professor.
Wait. I'd like to listen in on this conversation too, if you don't mind. As their guide, I suspect it has everything to do with me.
Take a 10-minute break. Do not return late.
Yes, Professor, excuse us. Well, they certainly don't look happy. Mainframes, huh? Or just big computers, but either way,
As you know,
same idea.
My name is David Callahan. I believe you're here to talk about Elsyme and Marduk investing in my research. That makes for a very interesting combination, if you don't mind me saying. What exactly led to this?
Is that what you were told? There seems to be a bit of misunderstanding then. We are currently working for Elsyme and we do not have a Marduk employee with us, but that's all. But what? We're currently in the middle of an investigation, you see, and a lead happened to bring us here. Wanted to follow up on a rumor that some extreme abuse of power has been taking place in the laboratory here. That's the face of a guy who's got something to tell. Who asked you to investigate this? Hold on. Couldn't tell you, didn't leave their name, but they did tell us all about what's been happening. We've heard all about the ridiculous workloads and insane hours they and their colleagues have been forced to endure. About how they're never allowed any rest, are woefully underpaid and how they receive vicious, constant verbal abuse from their superior, even to the point that someone collapsed from overwork and has been driven to the brink of suicide. That's just... We have all the testimony evidence we need to act if that's what it comes to. But we thought it better to come and hear your thoughts first. Excuse me? He's not being subtle about this. It's not too late to turn things around. It's not too late to turn things around. So many people we spoke to were quick to say that you weren't always like this. They mentioned how they almost had trouble believing just what you'd become. I thought the idea here was to be subtle, but they're not at all. Let me check on the stream, though, just to be sure. Okay, good. I'm still alive. We can see how afraid people are of you now. Oh, and how they dislike what you've become. But at the same time, we could see how deeply they respect you, too. We're not heroes of justice like the cops or the guild. We're just about finding in common ground and putting things to right. As long as you're willing to work with us, we can. That is enough. Don't talk to me about respect and then immediately resort to blackmail. I cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I can give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me? Not surprised that he's acting like this. How could you say that? You know we've got evidence of what you're doing, right? Sure you want to pick this fight? Do what you will with your evidence. All I have to do is cover it up. No one's going to believe some lowly assistants over an esteemed professor. Professor? I am one, no, 2 mere steps away from completing my research, and they pick now to sabotage my efforts? Very well then, damn the human cost. I'll start working them to the bone to make up for their...
Just listen to yourself, Professor! What has gotten into you? You used to be so kind and supportive. Professor Hamilton held you in such high regard. Even though I was one of her students, you would still take the time to look after me. I just can't understand why all you do lately is spit in the face of her achievements.
What? I suspected as much.
Sorry. That's a private matter between us. But please, at least stop and think about how you're treating the people who work under you. They took their positions because they dreamed of being like you. Don't belittle them or their work.
Salesian. Don't tell me what I can and can't do, you third-rate apprentice!
Oh my gosh. Porter. What do you think you're doing? Listen, asshole.
You're talking to the famous David Callahan, the preeminent scholar of engineering science and military technology, who has long upheld the very foundation of this nation's national defense. I've had enough of youngsters like Cronkite and Esmeralda acting like they're above me after all I've achieved.
But you're using your jealousy in the wrong way, pal.
My latest research will propel Calvert to even greater heights, change the power balance of the entire continent.
Man alive, you're really arrogant.
Why can no one understand just how much of a privilege it is to help with that?
Again, you're being
Professor.
arrogant. Well, you're free to have whatever lofty goals you want. But I think we've had our 10 minutes, don't you? Oh. We came here to explain the situation and offer a solution we thought would benefit everyone. You're welcome to try and cover up all the evidence and testimonies we've gathered, but I promise you, it ain't gonna be easy. If you're as close to this revolution as you claim to be, then I'd give it another thinking through if I were you. I'm done wasting time with you. I will be raising the issue of your illegal trespassing and appalling brazenness with Mr. Tossend. I admit that I may have been a little too harsh, but as long as you intend to cling to Professor Hamilton instead of aiming for something more, I have no interest in you. Well, yes, he should be aiming for more than Professor Hamilton, but that doesn't change a thing about what you've done. Unless you now see the benefit of developing your talents under me, after all. Again, you are too arrogant, pal, and you showed it. I would wager that would be a far better use of your time than waiting like a little girl for an old woman who's long gone. Excuse me. Porter, pardon us.
Like a little girl.
There you are.
So this is what it looks like inside, huh?
It's so cool seeing the observatory. Is that the telescope?
That's right. Professor Hamilton had it specially made.
Hold on. Alright. Not simple there, but just a message from a friend. I'm sorry you had to witness that earlier, but I'm impressed you know knew where to find me. Just had a feeling. We're happy to forget what we saw as long as you forget about us forcing our way into the research building. Then behave. Haha. You can go ahead and have a seat over there. I'll go make us some tea. So there aren't actually any astronomy professors here? Not at the moment. I'm the only one who comes here every day right now. But there was a time when quite a few researchers and students who all adored Professor Hamilton would come. Even Professor Callahan would from time to time. Oh? He never used to be like he is now. He's always seen Professor Hamilton as a rival, sure. But it used to be the friendly kind of rivalry that was beneficial to both sides. He taught me so much too. He really must have changed then. Yeah, from that into the uptight abusive asshole we saw earlier, some kind of fall. Professor Hamilton left the Republic 2 years ago, if I recall. And you're one of her students? That's right. I owe more to her than I can ever hope to repay. I've been looking after the observatory in her house since she left the country. Though I think it's debatable whether I'm doing a good job of it. The CEO, Vern, Mr. Tossin, is also one of the directors on the Institute's board. And he told me that he's considering shutting this place down because so few people are using it. Oh no. So that's why you've been doing all kinds of miscellaneous tasks to score points with him? That's awful. I really am sorry about earlier. I thought I ended up interfering in your investigation by jumping in, didn't I? If I hadn't said anything, don't sweat it. We ended up getting some useful info out of that whole outburst. My guess is you've noticed this by now too. But his piss-poor attitude isn't the only bad thing going on with him. You really think so? I have the same feeling. It would explain why someone so respected has stooped to such irrational behavior. Feels like the question is, what is he trying to do that he's willing to go so far off the deep end for it? The computer hardware in his laboratory is state-of-the-art. I suspect he's using it to perform vast calculations. The kind that would be equally difficult to properly manage. I agree. I've never seen a simulation of this extent before, and it seemed even that wasn't getting the results he wanted. He couldn't be, no. But that would... I see now. Well, we better keep an eye on that guy for a while. We ain't in Hazel for that long, but we're gonna be here for the next couple of days at least. Feels like we can afford to scratch each other's backs a bit, yeah, whether the CEO wants us to or not. Alright, I do have my doubts about you, but I believe Agnes is worthy of my trust. So if anything comes up, I'll be sure to let you know to keep what the professor left behind safe, if nothing else. Sigh, nothing comes from not being honest with yourself, you know. We'll be counting on you. Harder. Sure seems like he's being honest with himself to me. Not trusting you is the right call. Oh, you are very much in the same boat with how you're boorish you are. Excuse me? You trying to pick a fight, kiddo? That's only proving my point, you know. Are you interested in the telescope? I was just wondering what it's like, that's all. Haha. It's only just past 5 o'clock, so we won't be getting a great view of the stars quite yet. But come with me. You still might be able to get a good view of the Great Cheddar Triangle. Really? Yay. Ah. Of course the two kids of the group would hit it off. You're also still a damn kid from my perspective. By the way, Agnes, was it just me, or did you seem surprised by something when that professor was shouting up a storm? It wasn't just you. I cannot believe one of my assistants would try to set me up like this. Unbelievable. I give them a golden chance to help me obtain glory beyond their imagination, and this is how they choose to repay me? Ah, so it went off. So it picked then of all times to shine? It's not doing it now, though. Do you think it could just be a coincidence? You gotta wonder. Not like it'd be the first time it's shown at an odd time, like when we ran into Grimcat.
Whoa! What's this room for?
Odette? What brings you all here?
Found you! We've been looking for all of you. We couldn't find you anywhere in the main building, so we wondered if you might be here.
Sorry for putting you guys out.
Well, not all of us are here for you.
So this is their giant telescope. I've seen one in the Imperial Museum too, but it's so cool.
Oh! Can we take a look through it?
It's nice seeing this place this lively again. It's been so long.
Well, we'll be going back to our hotel now. Sure thing, try not to stay up too late just because no one's keeping an eye on you. That telescope was amazing though, wasn't it? I wish we could have had another look through it before we left. How about you come and walk around with us some on the last day, Fairy? We'd love to have you. Really? Your work sounds amazing, so I'd like that a lot. I'll just leave playtime to the kids, then. I'm more in the market for a place catered to adults. Hell, you want to join in on the fun, Four Eyes? Go. I would never want to go to such a place. Even though we caught you at an R-17 movie. That sounds like it'd be kind of fun in its own way. It was nice to finally meet the famous Rosette, too. Maybe we could talk some more. No, maybe we could talk some more another. Oh yes, I would like that very much indeed. Yay, then it's happening. Did you notice? Yeah, you managed to learn anything on your end? I'm afraid not. We heard something interesting from that genius professor, but that's about it. I'm not going to have much free time here, however, so I'm going to have to leave it to that nose of yours this time. Dumping all the work on me, huh? Great. Here's the tram, then we bid you all farewell. I should be able to meet you tomorrow morning at around 8 o'clock. I know it's a little early for good nights, but I hope you all have one regardless. Same to you. See you tomorrow. Sleep tight. What's eating away at you, phony maid?
Huh?
Oh, is something up? Anything up? Let me check on the stream again. After today, I'm hoping that I shouldn't have to worry about it as much. Okay, good. I'm still alive. Something up. Can't hide a thing from him.
I should have realized I wouldn't be able to keep my concerns a secret. To tell you the truth, I'm getting a peculiar sense of déjà vu from what's happening here in Basel.
Déjà vu? Your main job is being a concierge, but you also handle crisis management all over the country, right? So which does this orbital net and distribution network issue make you think of more? Liberal 6 years ago? Or Crossbell 4 years ago?
You're proving perceptive and knowledgeable beyond belief.
I'm sure I've heard both of those things before, but yeah, I think Xiao's mentioned them at some point too. The former was when all orbital power was shut off by the appearance of an ancient floating city. The latter was when the orbital network was used to perform a man-made miracle. Well, I never witnessed them firsthand, so there's a lot of gaps in what I know. But both are caused by things you wouldn't think could exist. Man, I think you'd made both events up if I didn't know better. I know what happened a year and a half ago in Crossbell, and that's just as batshit crazy on paper. Oh, when the whole continent was hacked? Or whatever the word is.
I'm afraid I can't answer most of your questions because they would contain classified information. However, I believe this may end with a crisis different from the ones that Mr. Arkwright mentioned.
Huh? Well, in this perfect Genesis started glowing again, there's bound to be something. No way this ends without giving us a headache. Yeah, we're gonna need to be ready for trouble. You gotta head out to somewhere now, right? I'll come with you if you want.
Again, you are perceptive beyond belief.
We might have only met in person recently, but I've known you for a real long time now. Whenever you stumble on a major problem brewing, you've got to report it to HQ,
Correct.
right?
What is happening here certainly falls under Code E of our regulations. But I see no harm in having someone with me during my report. We could also patrol the area at the same time. Does that sound all right?
More than all right. Let's get going. Wait. It's not just you two here, you know. Don't even think of leaving us out. I don't mind taking one of you, but the other's gonna have to stay behind. Someone will need to be available if Agnes or that boy we met decide to call. Right, that makes sense. Fine. Then come on, who are you taking? Select one additional member to accompany you. Company Van and Reset. They can be swapped out later using the computer in the room. Well, I'd rather have Fairy since she's got healing arts set up. So where do you have to go to give your report? Your company's headquarters isn't even in Calvard, is it? There's a bit of a process involved for security reasons. For starters, we need to leave the city toward the canyon. This needn't take priority over any other work you would like to do, however. I see now. Got it. We'll head over once we've walked around a little then. Okay. Okay, let's see here. So there's one thing to get.
Why don't we see...
Looks like we got that for SPG. I finished the latest version of my AR mystery game. I'd love for you to test it out. If you solve all the puzzles and give me your thoughts on this experiment, I'd be happy to reward you. And I'll be waiting at the tunnel in the Artisanal District. Alright. So, save and then we'll get this quest started. I'm really liking how there's no fishing in this game. I know a lot of people enjoy it, but as for me, like I think I've said before in a past stream, the only one that I really liked was the system that is in the Crossbell and Sky arcs. In the Liberal arcs, I should say. Everything else was just too darn annoying, though I did bother with 3s, Cold Steel 3s. So this way leads down a mine, does it? That would make it an excellent backdrop for a game, but nah, it's probably too dangerous down there. Hey there, Arkwright Solutions, you have a request for us? Well, I didn't expect you to help me out again, thank you. Figured we'd at least hear you out. What's got you all the way out in Basil anyhow? Especially all the way out here in the dark, you ain't up to something shady, are you? Oh, haha, I'm just scouting locations for my new game. It has a mystery theme, so it only makes sense for it to be dark and secretive. Let's get down to business then, if that's alright with you. I worked with a really bright friend of mine on this concept, so if I could iron out the kinks, I'm sure it'll be a hit. You'll solve a series of puzzles all while using these special gimmicks that fit Basil hand in glove. Oh? What kind of gimmicks? Well, it would spoil the fun if I just told you. Here, have this leaflet. Let's see here. Message from HQ. Catch the rogue hacker on the loose in Basil. HQ will track the target's movement and send relay them to you ASAP. All transmissions will be sent in code to avoid leaking information. Decode the message and apprehend the hacker. Secret agents, huh? Alright, I'll bite. And decoding our messages from the puzzle aspect of the... Decoding our messages forms the puzzle aspect of the game? Exactly. It's fun, right? I think we really knocked it out of the park with this one. So, what do you think? Interested in giving it a shot? Alright. Let's see. Yes, we will. Sure. We got other work taken care of, why not? Awesome. I was hoping you'd be up for it. Let me put your names down under the tester group real quick. There's another tester working through the game right now, so if you can solve the puzzle before they do... I see, I didn't realize we weren't the only testers at the moment. Of course you wouldn't be. It doesn't make sense to have only one tester. Yeah, I'm sending applications all over the place. My other tester started just a few minutes ago. I've got a special reward for whoever beats the game first, so good luck. Well, now we gotta win. Well, good luck. I'll be watching from the sidelines to make sure everything's running smoothly. And there he goes. So now what? We don't even have our first message yet. This is true. He did say that HQ would send us messages, but how? HQ to Spriggan. We've found traces of the hacker in the artisanal district. Investigate the sooted triad. Whoa, I didn't recognize this address at all. I think it really is him. His first riddle should be easy to solve. I imagine it's like a warm-up. Makes sense. Let's get cracking then. Alright. The artisanal district looks like I'm still there, so back around. It's a nice change that they made that I only have to press it once, but it's still kind of weird to make me dash like that and then everything else. Let's see, so down on the lower. Well, if there ever were a sooted triad, this would be it. Not the easiest first riddle in the world. There are chimneys everywhere around here. Indeed, it does make sense for a district this industrious. And it looks like we're not the first to make it this far either. I walked around this damn place for ages and it was right here this whole time. So they got a student, huh? Maybe he's the other tester we heard about. And there's the next set of instructions. It's almost like he's watching us. Normally I would assume the same, but I imagine at least one of us would have noticed them if they were tracking us by hand. I think they're receiving these messages automatically based on our receive location data. I didn't know you could do that. Or is this something his helper worked on? Maybe that makes sense. Got a lot to think about once this is done, but that can wait. Let's look at the next message real quick. HQ to Spriggan. The hacker's long gone from this area, unfortunately. We've picked up another trail elsewhere in the artisanal district, though. Investigate the bat's roost. Yeah, go fig. Of course there's more to it than that. And talk about cryptic. The hell's a bat, all caps? Ordinarily I would assume the mammal, but given how it's written, I imagine it's alluding to something else. And at any rate, we didn't encounter any bats in the mine, if memory serves. I feel like I've seen these letters somewhere else in the city. Let's see. Basil... Sigh. I don't remember where. The roost part makes me think there's some place they'll come back to, or they're normally out and about. Keep your eyes peeled for anything that fits that description. This one sounds more specific. Okay. So it looks like it's still here, and we've got to go up a level.
Ready and follow the instructions of the attendant.
Okay. Wait, what? Why is it down there? Well, this is the Aerotram station, and I think we've struck gold here. Ah, right, that does make sense. Oh, yeah. BAT is an acronym for Basal Aerotram. Oh, now I get it. They all stopped to roost here. And boom, there's the next message. HQ is Spriggan. The hacker has made their way toward Newtown. Board the train and pursue them. Straightforward enough, this one. Yeah, let's hop on. This does offer an exceptional view. Okay. weird, but okay. Since it's auto-going, I'm not gonna do anything. Well, if it isn't the Artemis kid we bumped into earlier. He's been one step ahead of us the whole time. I feel like I'm too slow, but he's not catching it. Man, I remember when I was all held up about beating people to the punch like that youth, huh? Well, wait, you're still young, aren't you? Ah ha ha. It looks like they've already made their move. Looks like it. So now what? HQ to Spriggan. We found new traces of the hacker. Disregard the kitty for now. Your target is Z-Cat number 1. Z-Cat 1, I don't get it. Well, they said to disregard the kitty. So, it would have to be Z number 1, if it's like that. It might help to write it out on paper. Would it really? I don't see how. I got a pretty good idea of where the objective is. I can see it on that sign over there. Let's head on over and take a look. You got a cat, huh? What do cats have to do with OrbitalNet? Oh, her. Kind of funny that he
It's so convenient nowadays.
took that long to figure it out. Because in the Crossbell arc, we learned that Ren had the ability to hack, or was a good cracker. Depends on what you want to say, but generally, people in the penetration testing area want to call them crackers, from what I've read.
Welcome to Basel Motor Pavilion.
Okay.
You'll find the latest.
And here we are. Z-Cat number 1, and minus the cat, a Z1 race car. Oh, I get it. Take the cat out of Z-Cat number 1 and you get Z1. Our next message should be arriving shortly. Yep. Stay sharp, gang. Well, that was anticlimactic. Let's see here. Yo, you in the game too? Yeah, I guess so. Didn't know there were other people doing this. HQ to Spriggan, the hacker got away. But their tracks are fresh. They should still be nearby. Head for coordinates WX square BC square. There's something that's gotta be about the light green, but they don't give me a way to decode it. WXBC. Well, what the hell is this? Doesn't make a lick of sense. It doesn't make sense to me either. But I really don't want to lose to these guys. Gotta think this one over. Well, I'm heading out. Catch you later. Have fun. Best of luck out there. Let's try and figure this one out. I suspect that we need to fill in the square marks with letters. Once we complete the sequence, the phrase will come together. Yeah, and once we have the full phrase, the rest is it's a cakewalk from there. Let's follow the code and see what we find. Okay. So go back here. Maybe down below. Because it's still marking it. Okay. maybe not, it was just outside here. It's in there. So might as well. No. Not in here. So it's gotta be below. So, first floor is a farm at Vern Arms, second is Vern's store, and the building itself is Vern Plaza. Vern Arms, or VA, that lines up with the code. This is making my head spin. We did crack this code quickly, that bodes well for us. Oh ho, would you look at that, another message. P.S. From the engineer, a pair of ZCF goggles will spell your way. ZCF goggles can be found at the Vern store if memory serves. Didn't ZCF come up earlier? Yes, ZCF is the Liberal Kingdom's principal engineering company. They were notable for building the first orbital airships. Hold on, guys, I want to check on my stream. Alright, good, I'm still alive. Yes, ZCF is the Liberal Kingdom's principal engineering company. They were notable for building the first orbital airships. So now we got Liberalian goods in the picture. That really makes me think it's her. Anyhow, let's go get those goggles. I want to see what I can get here.
Do you know what you want?
Okay. So, I can definitely get better equipment here. Ten is 10 Mira. Okay. Alright, so we can get you. And let's see. Get you. Okay. Okay. Then we get you. All right. Okay. All right. And then we do you.
I hope to see you again.
Indeed.
Alright, so was able to get better weapons there at least. Oh, that was a nice stop. Now let's talk to this guy. Hey, quick question. You guys stock ZCF goggles? We sure do. Here's a pair for you. ZCF goggles. They will spell your way, the riddle said. Is there writing on them? I don't see anything on the frame, so the lens, perhaps? Oh, I see the words. Await the aerotram, the bench will beckon. Guess we just gotta follow the breadcrumbs now. The aerotram is just up the stairs. Let us make haste. Wait, they don't mean Vern Arms, do they? What else could it be? Right. I hate this puzzle shit. I don't get these riddles at all. Oh, looks like we're a step ahead this time. We did it. Now all we have to do is head for the bench. Roger, roger. Alright. So, get up here. And this way. Let's save. Alright. Ren's here. Well, if it ain't the student council prez, figured you had a hand in this.
You caught me. Good evening, Spriggan.
What? Ren, why are you here? I'm glad I at least caught someone by surprise. It's more fun that way. So, how did you get roped into all this? Well, I happen to know the game master through the net, you see. He'd been putting out all these fascinating riddles online. I figured I might as well reach out to him. We got in touch and eventually came up with the idea of this game. And what better setting for a cyber-themed story than Basel? I even got to try out this new Mail API that I'd been tinkering with. I learned quite a lot from this little exercise. Do you just know everyone ever? Geez. I did learn about your hacking exploits as Kitty through MK's database. But I didn't realize your talent spanned far more than just security. Thank you. I still have much to learn, of course. Oh, there he is now. Must have fell behind somewhere. I was wondering why you were here. This was just an excuse to work with that Percy guy, wasn't it? This is all just stupid. The council president broke our own curfew for this shit. Oh, don't single me out, you meanie. I just so happened to hear from someone about a bored-looking Aramis student wandering around the city past curfew. Imagine my shock upon learning it was none other than you. So, James, did you have fun being a naughty little boy? Barely felt a thing, all that effort for a dud of a game. Oh, could've sworn I heard you racking your brain a bit at some of those riddles there. Okay, fine, they did make me think a little, kinda. That's excellent news. I'm sure he'll be happy to hear it. Wait. So did you really make that auto-send API thing for the emails like you made that from scratch? Mitch, how the hell are you even real? No wonder Ronald and I don't measure up. Well, fine, I admit it, you're pretty damn good. Thanks, but flattery will get you nowhere, mister. Oh, and would you mind keeping tonight our little secret? I'm not sure what I'd say if, as you mentioned, everyone found out I was breaking my own rules. Sure, just as long as you keep me a secret, too. I'm not privy to the specifics here, but it looks like they've worked things out. Yeah, just kids being kids. Ronald, eh? So he's the other brain cell in James' group. At least things have settled down now. Percy shortly arrived on the scene, and the participants gave him their impressions of the game. Well, good work, everyone, and thank you for the rave reviews. I owe a special shout out to Ren. Without her, none of this would have been possible. Oh, think nothing of it. Thank you for having me. If you ever get the idea of some other game, do let me know. Haha, you got it. Thanks a bunch. Man, I never thought my online friend would be a high schooler, you're really something special. I mean, how the heck did you learn so much about the orbital net at your age? She's an infamous cracker, pal. I feel like you're gonna leave me behind if I'm not careful. I gotta branch out and level up my programming skills. Best of luck with that, pal. Gotta say, this was all pretty fun, so I'd be down to try whatever you come up with next. Thank you, I still have a lot of kinks to iron out for sure. But I might be able to go public soon. It's almost ready for average Joes and Janes, I think. Now here's a little prize for you guys since you got here first and all. Again, thank you so much for participating. Look forward to the next game. With the game wrapped up, Percy excused himself to mull over his feedback. And Ren and James snuck back into the hotel for the night.
Well done, everyone.
Reward deposited.
Nice. Okay. Wish it was more than that, but now that we got more funds, let's go back to the shop and see if I can get more weapons.
Do you know what you want?
Okay, so we got 6,000. Okay, so we do you. Alright. And then we sell the weapon. Let's see, nothing in the armor. Okay, so we're good there. Nothing that I can do yet. Alright. So... Alright. Now I just need one more
I hope
weapon.
to see you again.
Okay, so save. I'm gonna check to be sure because I want to be safe for 1 and 2. I did start this a little later than I normally do, but typically still in the range. Good, I'm still alive. Alright. Time to head out. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Nothing here. And there are 2 things about this, so the canyon and Newtown, huh?
Let's be on our way.
Here. Okay. Alright, so up there is our key event. So let's save. Oh, I see. That's what's going on. Alright. It's just marking it because of that. That's all.
Let's do this.
Okay. So, want to check for quests again, even though this game doesn't make you search for them like Crossbow and such did. Let's see. Doesn't look like there's any good info. Alright, so now we are ready. And I should be able to get more chests, too. Drive to the canyon. Yes. Will this area do the trick?
It should be perfect.
What's that?
Parabolic shards expanded, initiating satellite communications.
What is that? Again? Some of our research was supposedly used in making it, too. Okay, so he knows what it is. What is it, Theo? I didn't just imagine that, did I? A low-altitude communications satellite flying 900 sails off the ground under the Sea of Stars. One of the many cutting-edge ordnance you guys are operating in secret, huh?
Indeed. Vern aided in its development, and the president of Calvert has given its use his tacit approval. As long as we continue reporting data on its usage, admittedly.
Sounds like him, alright. So this is how you report to HQ without the risk of anyone listening in?
That's correct. I don't believe communicating using Basel's orbital network to be safe at this point in time. As a Code E matter, the main AI in our headquarters will begin analysis and threat level determination as soon as it has received the proper data.
Must make things easy just having a computer do everything for you.
Reset!
There's two sides to every coin, as the saying goes. Marduk ain't the only one whose tech level is off the charts. Hell, it's not even tech. It goes for martial arts, magic, and the like, too. The Genesis and Almada aren't much different. But whether something's above board or not, it all comes down to how you choose to grapple with it. You should try and keep that in mind.
We are all like flames given life by the goddess, but it is we who determine how we shine. I'll give what you're saying some thought, together with all of you.
That's good enough for me. You don't mind me telling the other two all that's happened here, by the way?
By all means. Whether it's permitted under our company rules is a gray area. But that is the Arkwright Solutions way, isn't it?
Haha. Look at that. Seems I can't stop rubbing off
So
on
I've
people.
noticed.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for bothering you so late. I thought you would be in for the night by now.
Oh, it's you, wait. He may have seen the satellite from the observatory, yes. I was just calling to ask for your help with something. So over at the Institute not too long ago, we... Got it. We're meeting at the main gate, right? We'll be there in 20. We'll have to let Aaron know, too. Wait, they're here?
The preparations are coming along nicely. This is going to be fun.
Why are they being mysterious
Much
like
as I
that?
wish we didn't have to leave most of the execution to that filthy worm.
He is an overseer much like myself. I am sure he will play his role perfectly. Just take care not to let the window of opportunity pass you by.
Who do you think you're talking to, puppeteer? As if I would fail.
This battlefield will soon be an essential part of the preparations for our endgame. I will be looking forward to seeing what you can do as well, Golden One.
I shall do whatever my contract asks of me. Farewell for now.
The Institute of Science.
There you are. I'm glad you all came.
Yep, hey there. Wait a sec, haven't we met this chick? That's right, earlier today.
Oh, I remember you too.
I wasn't aware that you had already met. This is Associate Professor Esmeralda, another one of Professor Hamilton's students.
That's me! My full name is Esmeralda Archette. What a surprise! So you are the problem solvers I've heard so much about. And one of you is just too adorable!
Please, Essie, this isn't the time for that. I did tell her to go home, but she insisted on staying to help us.
Why must you be so cold, Katra? I could never abandon my little brother in his moment of need.
Little brother? We're just students under the same professor.
Hold on. Just want to be safe here and check on the stream again. Alright. I'm live still.
What do you mean, just? Here's what you get for being so mean. Come here.
Stop that, please.
And think we could swap bodies for a sec, kiddo? Well, the more people familiar with this place that we have to show us around, the better. The bigger our group, the higher our chances of finding this intruder we're here for. That's true. I didn't see them directly, just to be clear. But Theo's sensors detected an unregistered individual entering the building. So they didn't use that stupid card to get in there. It's also worth considering that the security system used here is too advanced for just anyone to be able to slip through it. I would consider that this could be Theo's sensors malfunctioning, but as it is a drone based on Z-File technology, I very much doubt it. The reading is correct, I'm sure. Hold on. Okay. Doesn't matter too much. The reading is correct, I'm sure. We saw them. Well, let's see what we can do. We might find ourselves stumbling on clues we couldn't find earlier today if we're lucky. We're taking you two with us, but just be careful, okay? We'll be fine. We have Theo and Zeros with us after all. Let's get to work. Rough. Engaging search mode. Wouldn't kill us to be a bit more tense here. To be more tense here. Ha ha ha. Okay, so we split up, huh? The Institute is so moody at this time of night. Oh, feeling scared? Of course not. A Kruga warrior would never be afraid of something like ghosts. I'm not remembering all the ghost stories I heard at school or anything. That would be silly. Alright. Small quantity of residual shards detected. Shards here? So someone used their Zifa here. Let's have a quick look around just in case.
That dining hall's a bit suspect, but first things first.
Let's see, so save here. Okay. So we've got to go through to here. The cafeteria's empty, huh? Phew, I can't sense anyone here either. By the way, was that green-haired girl the only one left in the building when we got here? Apart from our intruder? Not quite. Professor Cronkite already returned home for the day, so he won't be here. But there are also several security guards, along with Professor Callahan and his assistants. I tried calling out to them from the other side of the door, but they were too focused on their work to notice. No surprise there, I guess. Well, let's just put them out of our minds for the time being. Professor Hamilton's students are sure are an electric bunch, you included. Let me check on my controller here. Alright, looks like I need to charge this controller, so gonna be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's see, Professor Hamilton's students sure are an eclectic bunch, huh? You included. I don't want to hear that from you. Still, I think that just goes to show how open-minded she is. She doesn't care about race, upbringing, or anything other than finding the good in everyone. Then working to better bring it out. Hold on, though. I want to check on something. Okay, good. She doesn't care about race, upbringing, or anything other than finding the good in everyone, then working to better bring it out. Everyone knows her as the mother of the orbital revolution, but even to this day, she's striving to develop technology to help those in need. On top of that, she's kind, considerate. I've never met anyone like her. She sounds amazing. She was the one responsible for reviving and expanding Tharbad's oasis too, wasn't she? I can really tell just how much she respects her. I could never not respect her. This feels like... So, the house we visited earlier today is where Mr. Salson and Professor Hamilton lived then? That's right, the professor took him in 9 years ago, and he's been living with her since. The two of them, along with me and Professor Cronkite, are like a family now. So that's why people call him her favorite. If she left the country 2.5 years ago, however, That's right. He puts on a brave face, but he misses her so much. She's off trying to solve the problems in the East, so there's no telling when she's going to be back. The story about closing down the observatory seemed to come about because of me and Professor Cronkite, too. But he never confided in us. Instead, he tried to fix the problem all on his own. And Professor Cronkite's really busy at the moment, so he can't be around very much. I just wish I could pick up the slack and support Porter like a real big sister should. Kiddo's got a pattern, huh? He was trying to sort out that problem down in mine alone, too. But he's at the kind of age when kids want to act older than they are. Better to just leave him be if you ask me. Perhaps you're right, but being there for one another is what families do. I'm a little envious, to be honest. Oh? Rough. Did you find something, Zero? Oops. Guess we better give it a look. We sure didn't find anything downstairs, though, so I'm not getting my hopes up. I agree. Let's see if we can find anything. Okay, so... in here...
This robo...
See nothing here. Well, that's strange. Grr. The door is ajar. Did it just open itself? No, that doesn't. Rough. Where are you going, Zeros? What is it, Zeros? There. Wait. What's that? Whoever they are, they ain't just using stealth shards. They appear to be combining them with something else. Theo, we're going after them. Understood. We're going too. Well, wait for me. Heat signature detected. Zeros.
Wait! I surrender! I surrender!
Oh, it's her, huh? A woman, she looks kind of familiar. And there was me thinking it'd be that kinky cat or someone from the Mafia. Pant, huh? Who's that? She must not be a member of the faculty then. Man, it did cross my mind it might be you, but I wouldn't have put Mira on it. This here is one of Kincaid's subordinates. I don't think I've ever caught your name. So it's the desk jockey's gopher,
You
huh?
watch what you're calling me.
Is this an acquaintance of yours?
I was hoping not to make contact with you while I was here. But I see I underestimated just how friendly you would get with the faculty here in less than 24 hours. I did hear you had a way of conning everyone you meet into liking you, Arkwright, but you work fast.
Wait, conning everyone? I don't think so. I ain't conning anyone, I'm just that likable. Also, if you're gonna try to burn someone, maybe try doing it when you're not pinned under a dog.
You think I'm enjoying this? Just get it off me!
I can't eat another bite of Engadin. Looks like you guys did the rounds. We sure did, though we may have overdid it a tad for it being our first day. But now I have a better idea of just what is happening in this city. You do?
My name's Kayla McMillan. That's my real name, for what it's worth. I'm a second lieutenant in the CID, and I'd prefer it if that and all we discuss are kept off the record.
I thought you were here on a job from Elsam. So the CID is also involved then? Yeah. We knew the CEO might try to hide stuff from us, so we kept one of our clients a secret. We just didn't expect one of their guys to use a mix of Zifa and Ramda stealth to sneak in here. I apologize for the trouble I ended up causing. My intention was to investigate so we had a backup in the event you didn't succeed. I never expected to be found. Clearly, I shouldn't have underestimated the Institute of Science's technological prowess. Theo is cool. Of course, very cool. I don't get it. Why sneak in here at all? You couldn't just let us do our thing. I assume she concluded that the current situation was too serious not to do anything. That about the long and short of it? The current state of the orbital network and distribution network is definitely a problem. I had them go down on me the other day too. We managed to get things running again, but it was still a big hassle. But just why is this happening at all? There's only one possibility that I can propose. That would be unusually intensive parallel distributed networking. I'm no expert in the field, but that's all that comes to mind for me too. Then we're of the same mind. I'm totally lost. Yeah, the hell are you guys talking about? Orbital computers have been getting bigger and faster over the past few years, and the bigger they get, the more orbital energy they consume. Obviously, because of laws of conservation of matter and energy. And such and that. In short, yes. The larger and more complex the tasks you require of them, the more power they will consume. Orbiments regenerate orbital energy over time and don't generally need an external power source. That changes, however, when the amount of energy consumed vastly exceeds the orbiment's ability to generate it. Yet if the orbital distribution network that serves as that external source is also heavily taxed, that leads to a temporary decrease in the amount of energy available and the spike in the amount of orbital network traffic. That theory alone would be enough to explain the issues you're here to investigate. Does parallel distributed computing really consume that much orbital energy? It's when you borrow the processing power of multiple computers through the net to do greater calculations, right? I'm impressed you know about such cutting-edge tech. Now, connecting a few terminals isn't going to consume much energy at all. But what do you think would happen if one were to connect all the terminals in the city? Then do you think hacking is behind this? The flow of the orbital distribution network looks to me like it's being manipulated. If you intentionally adjust its flow on an erratic schedule, you can make it seem like issues are occurring at random. You might even call doing just that my specialty, though I find this here to be distastefully crafty, a distastefully crafty way of going about it. Still, while it's possible on paper, I can't imagine parallel distributed computing taking place on such a vast scale. As for controlling the orbital distribution network itself, that's simply unimaginable with current technology. We still don't know all there is about orbital energy and how it works. Oh, but wait. Yeah, a situation mirroring that unimaginable scenario happened not at all that long ago. It was around the most recent occupation of Crossbell. There were miracles and calamities born from large-scale distributed processing that should have been impossible with our current tech. So impossible that I never thought the same could happen here in the Republic, even if this is on a smaller scale. Indeed, we analyzed that situation ourselves at Marduk and reached the same conclusion about what happened. Is that confirms it then. She finally clues us in. I've heard some about what went down in Crossbell, but if this is the same as that, well, that spells trouble for us. Right, and this isn't the first time we've run into something connected to that whole incident either. Don't know if they're deliberately setting out to replicate Crossbell's deal, but there's one thing we need to get cleared up right off the bat. We've got to assume someone's out there trying to do research they shouldn't. That can only be done with parallel distributed computing. So the question becomes, who is it? That's the point in asking a question with only one... No, what's the point in asking a question with only one clear answer? Professor Callahan. Just what does he think he's doing? He's changed a ton over the past few years, but I didn't think he was up to something of this magnitude. This number belongs to...
Is that you, Salesian?
Professor Callahan, what's wrong, sir?
I'm so sorry. I screwed up. Please, stop this. They want my...
Professor Callahan? What just happened? He's in the special research building, right? We must hurry. What? Hold on, let me check on stream, especially because we're nearing time when I wind things down. It's still gonna be a little over half an hour left, but can't be too careful. Good, I'm still alive. What? Damn. What the heck? Professor, where are you, Professor? Start to decode. October 24, huh? Just what is going on here? Professor Callahan has gone missing, and you're here with some evidence that he's been abusing his power? Even the police and guild have barged into the institute wanting to question me. You people have been here for a day. A day! Are you some sort of plague being brought down upon us? It's not their fault. This is Professor Callahan's problem. No, it's all of our problem. Quarter, don't act like you didn't know about assistants being harassed left and right. Just what did you want me to do about it in my position? It's not my place to say anything about his research. I'm sure that is one of the difficult things about being a joint venture group funded by multiple investors, but I also imagine the benefits outweigh the difficulties. Anyone could see that the professor was on a rampage, and the problems with the orbital network and its distribution are just as clear. Let me just shoot straight with you. Was that professor linked to any strange groups? You know, like the Mafia or anything? I'd like to believe he wasn't, but I can't say for sure. It's pretty normal for the Institute of Science and the Vern Company to accept outside funding. In other words, the ground is fertile for corruption. And I can't write off the possibility with all those new terminals he suddenly had on him. Stop this pointless conjecture. You have no evidence. If rumors like this were to leak to the public during such a crucial time, how about acting like a leader for once in your damn life? These youngsters were hired so the police and the guild wouldn't have to get involved. And while we sit here scrambling for answers, who knows what Professor Callahan is up to? Tell me, is there ever going to be a better time than now to step up as CEO, Bill? Supervisor. Fine, I'll tell you everything I know. But please keep this just between us. Of course, our team always keeps matters like this confidential. We're contracted with one of your biggest shareholders, the Principality of SIM. And we have nothing to gain from hurting your image. And everything to gain from earning some brownie points with Vern. Professor Callahan first began to change around a year or two ago. We'd received a request from the Republican Army to develop the next generation of weapons, something he excelled in. But when the time came to propose ideas he lost in his own field, Professor Cronkite's was accepted. I knew that was it. Ever since he's been doing research on his own like a man possessed. I don't know what it is he started researching, but whatever it was, it required an immense amount of capital and manpower. There came a point where he started seeking out every sponsor he could. Then half a year ago, I heard a place called the Anchorville Company offered an unprecedented amount of money. That name. So, it got caught in your information network too, eh? Don't tell me this is the same thing in Landport. Indeed, the Anchorville Company, much like the Messeldam Trading Company, is also one of their shell corporations. Who are we talking about? A certain mafia. They're called Almada, and they're on both the guild and the police's radars. What? Professor Callahan was involved with people like that? I've heard the rumors, been expanding their territory an awful lot of late. Just how the hell could you have overlooked something like this? It's not my fault, I only got the info the other day. And what else could I do? Do you know what could happen to me if I put a pause on research for the Mafia? Think about the poor assistants who ended up helping them without even realizing it. So after losing against the genius professor, he started focusing entirely on his own research. My bet's that he's sticking to his same field of expertise. And if the Mafia has invested massive funds into his work, I have a bad feeling about this, a really bad feeling. The network delay that dropped down to 0.35% has gotten worse again as of this morning too. That makes it highly possible that he's continuing his research in another location. But just where on earth could that be? Sounds like we got a good old-fashioned manhunt on our hands. We're gonna be combing through his place way more than we did yesterday. I take it there are no objections? I don't like it, but I know it must be done. Better give our cards the proper rank then. Fine, give me your cards. We probably got up to A then. Rank B, the certification level you mentioned. That one almost never gets issued. I'm not trying to bitch, but may as well just give us rank A at this point. Don't ask for the impossible. Besides, we'll be able to get around much better than we could yesterday with these. Let's get to work. Time to get one over that Mafia.
I have a favor to ask. If at all possible, do you think I could accompany you?
Oh.
As Professor Hamilton's student, this situation with Professor Callahan isn't entirely unrelated to me, and I very much consider it my job to do something about it in her stead. Please, let me come with you.
Quarter. That's fine with me. But just to give you a heads up, our work takes priority. That means you're gonna be tagging along while we take care of business. That gonna be a problem? You mean like yesterday? That's fine. I wouldn't even mind helping out if there's anything I can do. Well, we're counting on you guys. I'll reach out to my contacts and see what I can dig up while you're at it. And just don't do anything too crazy, okay, Quarter? Yeah. Don't worry so much, Ezzy. I'm in good company. But whatever it takes, I'm determined to set things right while she's not here to do it herself. I know. I'll start talking to any dealers who supplied Professor Callahan with parts. If I hear anything back, I'll let you know. Take good care of the boy. Yeah, you got it. By the way, Agnes, it glowed last night, didn't it? It did, yes. Most likely at the same time as when Professor Callahan's final transmission went out. We're getting close then. Yes, the last time the Genesis glowed like that was... what are you talking about? What's a Genesis? Don't worry about it. Work stuff. I'm sure we'll fill you in eventually. I hope you don't mind, Quarter. If you say so, it must be something that could take a while to explain. Hold on, guys. I need to take a break for the bathroom and possibly drink, so... Be right back. Alright, I'm back. If you say so, it must be something that could take a while to explain. So where should we start? If possible, I'd like to first speak to Yang. You would know him better as Professor Cronkite. The guy our missing professor had beef with, right? Yeah, I bet he'd know a thing or two about his research. I want to make sure that I got this. Okay, good. The guy missing our professor had beef with, right? Yeah, I bet he'd know a thing or two about his research. Sounds good to me. Plus, I think it's about time we have a little talk with yesterday's client. The anonymous one? Not so anonymous to us at this point. Come on, let's settle the score. So we'll be making the rounds through Newtown and the Artisanal District before heading to the Institute of Science. Let's see. Yeah. Institute of Science, that sounds perfect. Then may day 2 of our work begin. Okay, so he joined the party. Alright. Let me check on the time. Okay. I got something to look at here, apparently. Okay. That was just what I saw earlier as the notification, so no big deal. Let me check on the stream. And we'll also... Okay, good. I'm still live. Alright. With how things are, I'm gonna take care of side quests at this point, if there are any. And see how long that takes us. Okay, the Artisanal District.
I guess we're off.
Okay, so over this way.
Alright.
Looks like we've got a 4 SPG. Some classified information got stolen. Before things blow up, I want you to get back. Please keep this a secret from any Vern employees. I'll be waiting in the hotel lobby. Alright.
Interesting. So these are the sorts of odd jobs you take on.
Okay.
Yeah, the requests are a little under the table in nature. They're hard to bring up to the guild.
Okay, so... Not there. Let's pick up this one too.
Let's get going.
Okay, not that way. Okay, up here. Looks like we've got it for SPG. Pardon me for making this request when I know you're rather busy, but we would like your help gathering materials to make certain painkillers. I will explain the details in Esmere's lab. Esmere and Ray. Alright. I wasn't expecting Essie to have a request for us. Though, really, she could have just told us in person. Guessing she just heard this is how we do things and rolled with it. We'll have to talk to her later. Agreed, we really owe it to her. Alright, so we got our things. So let's knock them out and see how far this goes. So... the info link. And that one. So, judging by the way things are, we shouldn't be having to worry about things too much. So let's go this one. Newtown. Let's see. I want to check on things here.
Do you know what you want?
Okay. So...
I hope
like
to see you
I
again.
can't get anything. Alright. Was worthy of a check. Darn it. Keep pressing the wrong thing, don't I? Alright, so... it's by the canyon. So... let's get this taken care of.
The arrow tramps are just awesome.
But dealing with side quests is easier at this point. Alright. There we go. Yo, Harrison Wright, Van Arkwright Solutions. You got a 4SPG for us. Oh, thank the goddess. I could really use your help. How so? Could you fill us in on the details? You're from Vern's Weapons Development Division, right? That's right, wait a minute. Are you quarter Sicilian? Hold on. Why is he here? Did I not specify that this was to be kept secret from the Institute? Your request asked for secrecy from Vern employees and not Institute of Science personnel. And anyway, Court here ain't a researcher today. He's working with me for reasons. We won't know how to help you if you don't tell us what the problem is. I feel like this might be related to Professor Callahan's situation. Alright. But please keep this under wraps if CEO Tossin hears about this. Oh goddess, help me. I can't promise that. It depends on the severity of your situation. But I can promise I'll hear you out before making any moves. Regaining the classified info is in our best interests at any rate. Anything beyond that, well, that's the Spriggan's jurisdiction. Well, ain't the kid awfully bossy? Fine, I can work with that. Just let me explain myself in full, please, and preferably in private. So, well, there's no good way I can phrase this. I got caught in a honey trap. Oh, I've heard of those. They crop up a lot in books and films, I guess. Life really does imitate art. Well, way I see it, that ain't really a problem on its own. She leave you blue-balled and bankrupt or what? Well, stop being around the bush. The more we know, the sooner we can get cracking. I know, it was late last night. I had gotten off my shift at work. I had with me that briefcase with the classified documents in it, as discussed earlier. And that was when I bumped into her, a hostess. She said she fell out with a regular customer she was fond of. She looked awful. But then one thing led to another, and we drank together at Hotel Ingress. Yeah, and what did that lead to? Spit something more at us, why don't you? That's enough. Do I really need to go into more detail? Down there, and your snide little quips aren't helping. So what happened afterward? I don't remember honestly. I couldn't keep my eyes open. When I came to, it was already the next morning. By then she was long gone and she'd taken the briefcase with her. I panicked. I heard about 4 SPG requests, so I sent one in to try and save face. Bringing classified materials to a romantic tryst is rash, to say the least. I know, just with security clearance and all, I figured it would be safe. Indeed, the security card system has made outside attempts at data breaches difficult. Perhaps that was what led them to target an insider like yourself. So you'll take it, right? We have to act faster. That briefcase is as good as gone. What should we do, Van? Okay, chaos and law, Except, alright, chaos and gray. Alright, we'll take it. Phew, thank you so much. I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you, Van. I can't overlook this myself. So just to make sure, have you contacted the hotel and asked if they still have it? You might have just left it at the bar or elsewhere. They have a lost and found for those sorts of things, I believe. Actually, that's a good point. I was so panicked that I just assumed it was stolen. Let's hit up the hotel first, then. If they have it, case closed. Might not even charge you for that one. But if it was stolen, then we're on the case. Right, that's fine by me. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, but we don't have anything of that description. We ask our guests to return any missing items they found, but we haven't seen nor heard of a briefcase. Housekeeping has cleaned your room already. But they didn't find anything there either. Well, great. It does sound like it was stolen then, and that brings us to our mystery woman. By the by, did you happen to see a hostess woman leaving the hotel yesterday morning? Hostess? No, not that I can recall. I see, very odd. So where could she have gone in that time? Anybody in general leave around that time then? Yes, actually. There was a researcher who rushed out of the hotel that morning. She looked like she was in a hurry. And did she? Yeah, I think she did. She might have had a case with her. A researcher? You know that I think about it, she was really sharp. She knew far more about engineering than the layman should. I have been talking to her about my job, and she was asking me really in-depth questions about the tech I brought up. Well, sounds like her hostess gigs BS then, and the scientist act too? Yeah, she knows more than she lets on. That puts the honey trap theory back on the table, and that means the hunt is on. We'll handle the investigation from here. I think we've got enough to go on. Right. Thank you ever so much. So we have a general idea of who the suspect is. Now, how do we find her? Process of elimination. I'm thinking we can try to figure out where she couldn't be. Let's go over the briefcase before that. First step here would be figuring out a motive. Who is in there and why was she after it? That's classified info, as I'm sure I don't need to remind you. But, well, yeah. We do need to know, Van. And can I trust you? Trust is everything in this line of work. Your secrets are safe with us, promise. Alright, Harrison, if you would fill us in. Okay, fine. So, they're blueprints for a new orbital gun, and plus some other design documents. The military's planning to adopt them soon. We've been getting our parts and assembly pipelines ready. If those design docs were to fall into foreign hands, yes, that would be a problem. It does explain why its contents are so highly classified. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but if they do get the documents, making the actual gun wouldn't be so easy. It uses some very rare, very complicated metal alloys. And as far as I'm aware, only Basil has the custom-made machining tools required to work with them. He said the thief was well versed with engineering. She might realize she needs those allies once she starts reading the documents. Could she still be in the city then, trying to procure some alloys for herself? You can't just work with them by hand. The alloys are useless without those special tools. And you can't buy them from the Vern store unless you show them your certification card. So even if she knew she needed the alloys, she shouldn't be able to use them. So she didn't steal your certification card too, did she? She shouldn't have. Oh no. Harrison frantically searched his pockets, but his certification and card was absent. Are you kidding me? Not my certification card too. Oh no. Yeah, figured as much. She already had you wrapped around her finger. Betcha she went to the Vern store with it. Let's head over there and ask around. You just sit tight till we finish our investigation. We'll keep you posted. Okay, good luck. Alright. So the Vern store. In here. Talk. Welcome. Always good to see Institute folks. What can I do for you? Yes, hello, we have a question. So, did a female researcher come by the store this morning? Yes, somebody came by earlier today, looked like a researcher to me. She was a real looker, I remember that much. She dropped by right after we opened. I see. Did she buy anything? She did, yeah. She asked for some alloy machining tools. It was a bit of a strange ask, but she had her certification card on her, so yeah, I went ahead and got those for her. She also asked where she could get the alloys themselves. Maybe she needed them for a project or something. Anyway, I told her they might be able to help her over at Giscard's. So that's where our little fox ran off to. We'd best hurry. Thanks for the info. Okay. So save. Alright. Now, this. The workshop.
Taking off now.
Alright. Okay. Well, if it isn't Quarter, what's got you looking so serious? I had a question for you, if you don't mind. Have you had a woman from the Institute come by looking for metal alloys? Huh? It's like you saw it happen. We had someone like that come by just a bit ago. She had a valid card, so I went ahead and sold her the alloys she wanted. Should I not have? Nah, don't sweat it. We just needed to talk with her about something. I see. Well, I guess that's fair. Oh, now you mention it, actually. She said something about heading off to Liberal after she was done with her business here in Basel. If I had to guess, she probably made for Canyon. Thing is, she was driving some sporty ETWS make, so you probably couldn't catch her if you tried. Well, that gives us a good idea of where she is at. At any rate, thank you. Should we head over to the canyon then? Hold on, I want to check on the stream. Again, it's getting close to time. I can't be too careful. But considering what the time is, I might have time for only this quest. Yep, looks like I'm good. We should head over to the canyon then. I mean, it's not like we can catch her if we do. You heard the man. No, northeast is where we're heading. Why? That's the complete opposite direction. Think about it. We're dealing with somebody who's making off with classified info and trying to shake the cops off her trail. So why would she just tell some rando where she's going? She ain't gonna leave a trail like that. That does make sense, but then why did she tell Eugen she was going to Liberal? To deceive him, I suspect. She may very well have known she's being followed. Having stolen top secret intel, she's likely trying to throw the authorities off her trail. That does make sense. It's exactly what a criminal would do. I agree with Van then. Let's head for the highway toward Hedith. Yeah, once we're back in Newtown, we can hop in my car and hum down. Let's see, Van's car can be taken from the road under the motor pavilion. Alright. So, we save, and then we'll see how long things go, but I'm guessing that I only have time for this quest.
Then let's head over.
Okay. So... Okay, so... Hop in, gang, we're taking the truck. We need to catch her before it's too late. Let's see, pursue the researcher. Well, she's a comfy ride, right? Or it is comfortable, yes, but I don't think now is the time to be discussing that. Just hurry, please. We have to make sure that classified information doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Yeah. Oh, I think that's the car. Looks like she's about to stop. I'm gonna pull over too, so get ready. Yes, I've left Basel with the documents in hand. I've also procured the special tools and alloys, even if that was outside the scope of the mission. But that aside, everything has gone according to plan. I will have to let you go for a moment. I'll call you back shortly. I believe we have found our perpetrator. This is the honey trap girl. Yeah, I'd hit that. Oh dear, I thought my little ruse would have bought me more time. You do not appear to be associated with the police or Marduk. Perhaps you might be interested in negotiating. I can offer you a substantial reward if you let me go. Tempting, but nah. Normally I'd be up for a little wheeling and dealing, but I've got a pair of scrutinizing eyes on me. Afraid you're just gonna have to hand over the case. Just what exactly would have you done had I not tagged along? Oh my, a researcher from the Institute is here too. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but the case stays with me. I'll give you two options. Go back to Basel empty-handed or return in body bags. We will never agree to your terms. I concur. We'll instead opt for the third option, fight. That orbital gun design looks eerily familiar. It must be... Well, don't say I didn't warn you. What, she had monsters this whole time? Somebody came prepared. Not like it'll make any difference, though. We'll make mincemeat out of them in seconds flat.
There's so many of them! Look out!
My move now.
Alright.
Use a shark boost to get the upper hand!
This'll hurt. Got a whole slew of them.
Give them your all!
Think fast. Take this.
I won't let this chance slip by.
Okay.
Chance for a shot boost. Cobalt curtain. Activate. Miss Clodown.
Okay.
I'll get them all at once. Here I go. Supreme Guard.
I won't lose.
Now's your
This'll
chance
do the
to
trick.
boost.
Try and get as many of them as I can.
Locking on. Fire!
Okay.
Now it's my turn.
Okay.
A chance for a shot boost. Don't mind me.
Make it count.
Okay.
My move now.
Use a shark boost to get
Let's
the upper hand.
see.
Got a whole slew of them.
Caution.
Give them your all!
Over here. All for you.
Dispatching shield.
A chance!
Okay.
Certain arts will be more effective.
Make it count.
Random light! White heel!
Thanks, pal. That's far enough.
Now's your chance to boost.
This'll do the trick.
Okay.
Going all
So.
day.
Activating skill.
There we go!
Alright.
Now it's my turn.
A chance for a shot boost.
I will address you all at once.
Make it count.
Activating skill.
My move now.
Okay.
Use a sharp boost to get the upper hand. Attack their weakness with an arc.
Got a whole slew of them.
Okay, so...
A chance! I'll get them all at once.
Here's our chance.
Okay.
This'll do the trick.
Now's your chance to boost.
Thea, we need help.
I owe you one. There!
Now it's my turn. A chance for a shot
Okay.
boost.
Make it count.
Let's see.
Some elements look
I will
effective.
address you all at once. Activating drive.
My move now.
Use a sharp boost to get the upper hand.
Got a whole slew of them.
Good luck.
See, not enough for that one.
Keep your guard up.
Got a whole slew of them. Got a whole slew of them.
Activating drive. Huh? Here goes. I'll get them all at once.
Darn it.
Eat this!
This is dangerous.
Now's your chance to boost.
We need help.
Thanks, pal.
Got it.
A chance for a shot boost.
So...
Some elements look effective.
Going all in.
Don't mind me. You cannot run. Fire! Mr. Arkwright!
Okay.
Use a sharp draw! A chance!
Please don't do anything else.
Thanks, pal.
Okay, good.
My move now. This'll hurt.
Use a sharp boost to get the upper hand. Activating skill.
Take that. Take this.
I won't let this chance slip by. Please, follow my lead.
That's how it goes.
I leveled up.
Alright, let me check on the stream again. But it looks like I might have been right. Alright, yep. No way, how could I possibly have lost? Checkmate, now give up the goods. And while you're at it, answer me this. What organization do you belong to? Who hired you? I can answer that in her stead. I recognize that particular gun model. She's likely associated with Zect Arms. You mean the new weapons manufacturer? If I'm remembering things right, their names started making the rounds during the war with the Empire. Correct. They are similar to Marduk in some respects, although they are not nearly as large and enterprises for weapons development, however, are quite ferocious, as they've been aggressive with their market share, with expanding their market share of late. Hold on here. Just double checking. Okay, definitely still good. Alright. Now they're sending out spies to do their dirty work. Damn, that's low. I can't say I disagree. Stealing technology from competitors is hardly an ethical business practice. Now then, I suppose we'd better get this stuff back to our client. We should take her back with us. Could you restrain her for me, Arita? On it. Yes, this all looks right. Thank the goddess it's all still here. Thank you so much for getting the briefcase back. That's a relief. Is this case closed then? Well, no, it looks like they broke into it. She knows she knew to procure the right alloys and their tools, so I think she probably got to read the documents. The information itself has likely reached Zekdarms already. How they plan to utilize said information, I'm not sure. But simply having Republic schematics will give them an advantage in their own research and development. This is bad, really bad. There has to be some way we can... No, has to be something we can do to stop that, but what? There's another card we can play, but you might not like it. We can bring in some groups to help us out, but then, well, they'll know. This matter concerns more than just you now. There are far-reaching industrial secrets at stake. It would be in your best interest to swallow your pride and consult the authorities. Alright, fine, the company can know. What's your plan? Well, if we want to stay on good terms with the boys in blue, then we should probably bring this to Vern and let them work with the police themselves. The whole thing will be blown wide open at that point, but the client made his bed there. That'll at least stop the intel from spreading. Or we can call some friends in other places. We hit up the second lieutenant and the CID will have this snuffed out in no time. I think they'll be happy with an industrial spy as down payment. How do we deal with this? Let's see, we tip off the CID. Let's give the CID a call. The second lieutenant just so happens to be in the area. She should be able to cover it. The CID, why go all the way up to them? Wouldn't the police be better suited for local investigations? Nah, the police can't do much about the big picture. This'll really throw a wrench in her plans. For better or worse, the police stick to the letter of the law. The CID, they don't really answer to anything. Justice is blind, but they've got eyes everywhere. Zekdarms as a whole ain't going anywhere once they're done with this perp. I see. Well, that should be fine then. We'll contact the CID if it's all the same to you. Yeah, I don't really have a choice. I need to bite the bullet and confess. Then it's settled. Rosette, can you call up the CID? Certainly. Before long, Second Lieutenant Kayla and her CID accompaniment arrived at the scene. The spy was taken into CID custody, followed shortly by cutthroat negotiations with Zekdarms. The client did ultimately confess to his error. However, because he nonetheless helped the CID apprehend the spy, they conveniently expunged his name from their report to the Vern Company. Seriously, I can't thank you guys enough. Without your help, that briefcase would have done some serious damage in the wild. I think it's probably for the best that we consulted the CID as much as I didn't want to. Yeah, sucks that we couldn't honor the original request, but now we've got brownie points with CID, and you still got a clean sheet. Haha, yeah. I feel a bit guilty getting off scot-free, but well, I can't complain about that, can I? Thank you for concocting such an airtight plan. I need to excuse myself for a minute now. They'd like to question me. Best of luck.
That takes care of that.
Alright.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
Ooh, nice. Alright. Let me check the weapons shop and then I think I'll call it. Because I should be able to afford something. Okay, so... Oh, so he's got it, but she doesn't. So we should have everything we need. Okay. Alright. And we'll customize it. Alrighty then. Alright. And take care of that one.
I hope to see you again.
Alright. So as I said, I'm gonna call it here. And so I'll save and do that. I thank you all for coming. If you liked this, be sure to leave a like and share this with anybody else that you think might like it. And if you'd like the chance to chill with me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notifications to hopefully be notified of when I'm streaming again. As for when I'll be streaming again, I would normally say that I'll be back later today, considering that this game's chapters can be long, but I've got a company to be expected today because of the package, and then I've got plans tomorrow, so I think that the next stream will be on Monday. And with that, I thank you all again for coming. Bye!